Do it.
Oh, you're ready to go now?
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Sunday morning edition, Left Coast Leaves podcast.
This is like video church.
It is like video church.
Virtual church. Oh, fuck.
Coffee pod.
Yeah, coffee pot and some brand placement.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, a little clue in the coffee this morning just for this occasion.
A little pep in your step.
I learned how to play crib last night.
I like crib. Crib's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Reg taught me at 55 years old.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I finally learned how to play crib. I watched my parents play it for decades, and I didn't care. But
there's a great. I have a crib app. I enjoy it. It's a good time killer.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes.
Maybe I'll have to sign up for that. Can I play you? Can I play versus you online?
No, you just play against I'm sure there's an app where you can play against other people, but
yeah, probably. Yeah. Nice. So this is kind of a somber day in the middle of every day is kind of somber, but it would have been the day after the regular season.
Yeah, so it would have been either excitement or wow, what happened?
Yeah, I know. Do you want to talk about that first, or do you want to talk about that after we do a little quick draft recap of 2012 and 2011?
Oh, good either way. Your choice.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about what might have been. Yeah, so Lee would have finished against the Habs last night. Presumably the Habs would have nothing to play for.
Yeah, I think we would have been getting primed to play Tampa Bay in the first round.
Yeah, I think that's the way it would have went. I feel that. Well, how many games did we lose out on? 11? 12? 11 or 12.
Yeah, 11 or 12.
Yeah, and I think they were getting healthy. I did see a report that said that Mikheyev would have been cleared to play. I find that surprising.
Well, end of March, they said 3 months, of no contact or.
Yeah, like a reevaluation kind of thing. So, but then I saw a report about 10 days ago that said he actually would have been cleared to play. He was 100% considered healed. So, yeah. And I mean, those guys, they do heal faster. They always underpromise and overdeliver on injuries typically anyways.
Smart way to go about it.
It always is in life in general.
Yeah.
Never oversell yourself. You might have to live up to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Tampa wouldn't have caught Boston.
No.
And
if we would have struggled though, we could have easily not made the playoffs. Like Florida depends with Florida. It's just it's like all that investment from September on. Like it's just a waste. it's all gone.
And this even feels worse. I actually, now that we've experienced both, I'd rather lose a season to a labor dispute. Like this is fucked, right? Yeah. Like this is just extremely disheartening on many levels, and just a stupid work stoppage. But
and it's like, I think it's seriously concerning for next year, where like the governor of California said yesterday, being like, as much as I want to see like baseball and football, don't think so.
I think the most telling pro sports quote to me so far came from the NFL's chief medical officer yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, and just to paraphrase him, he said, "We could go back, but then as soon as there's one new case, everything shuts down again." Right. So like as soon as there's a public gathering and one confirmed case comes out of that public gathering or whatever, then we're back to square one. So, man, like I'm in honor of that. I'm wearing my Rider jersey today because I'm feeling really bad for the CFL because there's teams that might not even survive. Like I think the Riders might be the only team that's profitable in that league.
It's it's not good. Like,
no.
It's gonna be. It could be like really a weird scenario with like the professional sports and that quote there, where if it's like, how comfortable are people gonna be to go sit in a 20,000 seat arena? Like, sure, from home, no problem. Like, like we're excelling at that right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, like this virus is still like it's still obviously to be spreading. It's not going to go away. Like, I think that's the reality here until there's a vaccine
until it's vaccinated for, it'll continue just to come up in pockets, and with its ability to spread as fast as it does, I mean, it's not like the common cold. It's not like the flu. It spreads easily.
I did my first quarantine haircut on Friday night.
I saw the remnants in the shower on Instagram, in the bottom of the shower. How
That
did that
wasn't the
go?
shower. That was the sink. That
Oh,
was
the sink. Okay, yeah. How did it go? Were you pretty happy with it?
Yeah, it turned out fine.
What did you do? You just trimmed the sides?
Yeah.
Did you touch the long part at all with the scissors or no?
Not yet.
Weren't ready to go down that road, eh?
No.
No.
And I did it after a bunch of beers too.
I grabbed this morning. I grabbed the. Yeah, that's always good to have the clippers out after that. I grabbed the first hat that I could grab to put on this morning.
Your hair is looking long.
It's going to be very long, and this is. I'll turn my hat around so you can see what hat I picked up this morning.
Washington Capitals. Why are you wearing the Washington Capitals hat?
Because it was the first hat in the hat basket, so I just grabbed it before I sat down here.
Do you have a hair trimmer? Like, are you going to cut your hair?
I'm going au naturel till December if I have to. Like, I'm gonna be David Hasselhoff.
Mine was like, I think I haven't got a haircut like in 2 months, and it was so long it was driving me nuts. I was like, fuck it, I'm done.
Well, this is sketchy. We'll get back to hockey after this, but my hairdresser texted me last week, and I've been going to her for about 20 years. She used to own that little place at the Can West Mall, Mr. Shears. Mm-hmm. And so she's out on her own now. She does everybody in our family, cuts our hair anyways. And she texted me, said, "Hey Trevor, I've been isolated for 2 weeks. I'm feeling kind of stir crazy. I'm gonna open the salon for single appointments, like one person at a time, lock the doors." And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I get that you have to make a living and stuff like that, but how do you know who's walking in? How do I know what your situation is? And I mean, I thought it was pretty irresponsible.
She's probably going stir crazy, like I said, and
yeah,
financially hardship.
Yeah, and people will take her up on it, though. People will. Sticking with the Atlantic Division, as we just sort of say what might have happened, would Florida have been a wild card in your mind?
I haven't done that depth of a dive.
No.
Knowing, like, because there's a bunch of teams in the Metro that were very good. Columbus is kind of running into the injury bug. Like, it would have
Islanders are exciting.
Would have been a really exciting final month of the season.
It would have been really exciting, and the West was wild. Pardon the expression, but that would have been just an insane race. Even just they could have swapped the 1, 2, 3 teams in the West could have swapped. Like, everyone could have taken a turn at first in the last 10 games of the season.
Yeah,
it was that crazy. So, yeah, but we're here we're here because this is just all we got. But
there's literally nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do, and we're gonna continue our draft rewrites here. And
2012 is like, just like, do we even need to talk about it? Like,
no, it's a no-brainer.
We have the best player in that draft on our team.
Yeah. So because we have the best player, and there's nobody behind him that we would rather have taken. I had a couple of interesting tidbits from that draft. And we're talking about Morgan Riley, for those who don't know who the Leafs took 5th overall in the 2012 draft.
If you would redraft that today, Morgan Riley goes 1st overall.
Absolutely. You know what? Yeah. I would say you might get some pushback on one player.
Who?
Jacob Trouba. Maybe. Just because he's right-handed. But yeah, I know. That's a stretch. But just to have one little devil's advocate in there.
Even the contract, though. Look at the contract Riley has right now.
Yeah, it's very, very friendly. So in that draft, Yakupov went 1st. And he was the consensus number 1 in all the draft rankings. So it's not like Edmonton fucked up that pick. Like, they didn't. And
the talk was, though, that they needed a D-man. Like, they had just taken Taylor Hall and Nugent Hopkins, the previous 1st overall. And they would either you go draft for need, or you draft best player available.
Well, here's the fucked up thing about that, okay? It went Yakupov, Murray, Galchenyuk. That was the top 3.
Yeah.
The next 6 players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players taken were defensemen. Insane. 8 of the top 10 players chosen in that draft were defensemen. So it went, the order of selection went Reinhart, Griffin Reinhart, then Riley, Lindholm, Dumba, Pouliot, Trouba, and Kokek, some guy that didn't pan out, but
he still plays in the NHL.
Yeah.
He's with Chicago.
Okay, yeah, that's right too. So you had Dumba and Lindholm and some guys sitting there and Riley. But I always wondered about Brian Burke's quote that we talked about last pod, is that he always bombastically in his Brian Burke-y way kind of said, if we had to pick if number 1 overall, we would have taken Morgan Riley.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it was pretty much, I mean, it looked like a coin flip.
Yeah. So. Let's go to 2011. A little bit more interest there.
Just quick about 2012. Cody Ceci went 15. Was ranked as high as 5 on some people's scouting. And then the sleeper of the draft, in my opinion,
Connor Brown.
League-wide, though, Colton Parayko at 86.
Connor Brown, the 6th rounder.
Yeah, and then Freddie Anderson taken 87 right after Parayko, so that's kind of funny. 2011, it was a make-or-break year for the Leafs.
BC boy, 1st overall.
2 first-round picks, Nuge. Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Nuge.
A buddy of mine at work on Friday, we printed out lists of all 31 NHL teams, all 32 MLB teams, and we had to write down our favorite player all time for all those franchises. It was really
like you're doing this now?
We did that on Friday at work, yeah. Yeah. And Edmonton Oilers was my favorite overall, was Nuge.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think you look at this draft, I don't think anyone goes above Nugent Hopkins as 1st overall. Like, I think you can make cases for Landeskog or Huberdeau or maybe even Scheifele.
Mm-hmm.
But you know he's a solid player.
Yes. And you know who the Hockey News number 1 pre-draft ranking player was? Adam Larson. And he ended up on the Oilers after all. So that's kind of interesting little tidbit there. Yeah.
Obviously, the Leafs with Tyler Biggs and Stuart Percy.
Tyler Biggs
traded up for Tyler Biggs.
Yeah, and his pre-draft ranking was 22, right where the Leafs took him. It's a miss. It's a miss, right? And I mean, that's why I put a tweet out last week, and I said this would be a good opportunity for the league to not even have a draft, put the same players in the draft next year, and make it a 19-year-old draft now, like it used to be. And I had a decent discussion on Twitter with some people, but that's what teams know what they're getting more at that stage, right?
Well, yeah,
yeah.
So if you had to pick, let's just keep it as one player, because 2 players is what it is. Who would you pick there in the 22 spot?
Who would have I picked?
Yeah.
Who would I turn it around and become? Somebody who's was reasonably drafted in that area. I would have taken now Rickard Rakell at 30. If those 30 was Rickard Rakell, I'd take him instead of Biggs.
So you're not taking into consideration the entire draft, though.
I looked down the list and the few people jumped off the page, but
there's Kucherov and Gaudreau.
Okay, so I tried to keep it in that realm of realistically who would have been in that sort of.
This draft was 10 years ago. Fucking.
So who would you take?
Kucherov.
Kucherov. Okay. All right. So
and he went in the 2nd round.
That's not that far off because and you make a really good point. I'm going to actually concede to you on that one because the Leafs took Stuart Percy at 25 then.
Yep.
3 picks later. His pre-draft ranking was fucking 53. So like Berkey went way off the board on that one, and he just did a face plant.
It happens.
Yeah. So So that's if you're gonna go off the board, maybe you should hit on it, right? Like would have
Yeah.
been nice. So yeah, so that's the 2011 draft. So yeah, we got a total of 12 games out of Biggs and Stuart Percy.
Not bad.
Yeah, yeah, not bad. Oh my god.
So what has been your what's your highlight of this past week of the home quarantine?
Yesterday, I fired up the power washer, emptied the hot tub, refilled it, power washed the deck, barbecued steaks on the barbecue. So
You hot tubbing every day?
my every other day maybe. You know what the funny thing is about having a hot tub is you get so used to it that it almost seems like work. Like I don't want to strip down and then dry myself off. It just seems like too much work. And some people say if I had one I'd be in it every day. And then at first you are, and then it's like, oh, I mean, I got to dry myself off afterwards. Then I'll be cold. So it's kind of like weird, but yeah, I'll use it less and less as the days warm up. I should make it into an ice bath and crush some hard workouts. Just fill it with ice.
Working out is tough.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of home workouts.
What was your highlight of the week?
I did like a family like a beer o'clock, like a 4:30 would have been 7:30 their time.
Mm-hmm.
Beers. It was a good like hour and a half. Like
nice.
Really enjoyable. That was probably my highlight.
How many windows did you have open? How many screens?
Just one. I was just on my phone. There was
on your phone. Well, how many?
Just two other people.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, you know what? I did because I have my tennis group of guys, right? And I decided I'd initiate a Zoom meeting with everybody at 5:00 on Friday as well. And so I put it out there as a group email, and we had 10 guys jump in.
Yeah.
So we talked for almost on an hour. So it's kind of funny because we're using we miss the people that we see in person every day, or like regularly, that we take for granted, like you and I doing the pod in the studio and our coworkers and that. But we've also started to even reach out through these Skype and Zoom to our family, our distant family, because of this. But we never did before, right? It's kind of weird because now I Skype my family, but I didn't before. So this kind of made me initiated that with people that we don't see in person, if you know what I'm saying.
I think there's going to be a big change once this is all over of like just of how you live life, what you're doing. And I think families will play a big role in that.
I think so too. And maybe one day when we just run out of topics, we could just because I have a lot of thoughts on how we're going to come back, like what the workplace is going to look like and lots of things like that. And it'd be kind of fun to just bullshit about that. Maybe get somebody else on with us or something.
Yeah.
Get one of our old previous guests. Maybe we should let's get our panel together that we had our preseason at Fifth Street.
Yeah.
You know what I should do? I should listen to that pod, take notes, and then have those two guys back on this format and see.
Well, we could go through we made predictions too at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Those it's just all of that's just a waste though, because it's all what if.
Yeah, because nothing played itself out, not even to the end of the regular season. It's not like they even oh damn, they didn't make the playoffs, so now our preseason playoff predictions are not valid. Like nothing's valid.
Nothing.
No. So let's end on this. Except for the fact that the team didn't get to play out the season, what's your most disappointing individual or player accomplishment that you wished you'd been able to see? I think it's pretty obvious.
Austin Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews scoring 50.
Yeah.
Or breaking Rick Vibe's record.
That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal, and he's got to be pretty disappointed. I mean, it's not even they don't even have bonuses anymore for those things. I don't think in their contracts they're not allowed to do those. Only rookie contracts, but he must be feeling pretty bummed about that. Yeah. So, all right, man. That's a wrap. Should we bother going any further back in the draft?
Never, like the next we're into like Nas and Kadri. And
Yeah, and that would just be painful. It would be interesting to see what we would who was taken after him. But that was it was a good pick.
Yeah.
That was a good pick. All right. Well, happy Sunday. And how do you feel about maybe once the weather warms up, doing another outdoor one by distance on the driveway, or is that just pushing the whole? Is that setting a bad example? Is it like we say stay home?
Right? Take it day by day.
Yeah, day by day. Yeah, exactly. I think we're in good shape on the island, so hopefully we can just, maybe be the outliers here.
That's the thing, though, is like even if we get down to like a few cases a day, it's still going to be like can't do anything.
No.
Okay, as soon as you do something, it just fucking flares up.
Yeah, when do you pull the trigger? It's messed up. Yeah, I'm stuck in my house with my son for the near future. Sandra's gone. She's moved out, quarantined. All right, man.
All right, go Leafs, go.
Go Jays, go.